Welcome to Romulus Folio Gallery. Good evening everyone and welcome. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we gather, the Boonwurrung people of the Kulin Nation, and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. Welcome everyone to the Fusion exhibition at Romulus Folio Gallery. The exhibition tonight brings together contemporary art and design through the work of Mark Alexander, who we are very lucky to have with us tonight and in the exhibition. So Mark, wave, yeah, hey. Whose practice explores the relationship between architecture, objects, materials and light. Across his work, interiors are conceived as complete compositions where furniture, surfaces and spatial proportion and atmosphere operate together to shape an experience of space. Mark's work moves between design, sculpture and architectural thinking and fusion, offers a glimpse into that broader spatial language presenting furniture, material studies and documentation that reveal how environments are carefully composed rather than decorated. Before we continue, we would like to acknowledge and welcome the Mayor of the City of Port Phillip, Alex Makin, who is here. We are very lucky for the support he has of the arts tonight, and he's going to give us the official welcome address. So thank you.
Pleasure. Great to be back. I don't think I've missed a single exhibition here since you've run the series. Even the one where you forgot to invite me and I still turned up. So
he did.
There you go. True story. Tonight's exhibition is around fusion. And fusion is about bringing communities together. So I would too like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. We in Port Phillip, we sit within Wurundjeri, Boonwurrung and Bunurong lands and the fusion of communities. I often remark when we're in Fisherman's Bend, this suburb, this precinct, is named after the geographical features that used to be here. The bend in the Yarra River that no longer exists due to colonisation. And today, we suffer the consequences of that around flooding and a whole range of erosion issues due to the consequences of yesterday. And that brings us to this notion of fusion. How do we actually bring people together? How do we bring communities together? Arts, culture is a key instrument of that. Today we have the fusion of a number of art forms. But we also have the fusion of communities. In Fisherman's Bend, we have the fusion of an existing community and new communities, many of you being here within the Gladstone and the developments around the Montague precinct of Fisherman's Bend. This is going to be the fusion of new communities, assuming that vision of 60,000 people by 2050, only 25 years away, is actually realised. How do we realise that vision? That requires the connectivity in transport, that fusion of enabling people to get around communities. You cannot create successful, vibrant communities without sustainable transport. We were supposed to have the trams here last year. Not a single metre of tram track has been laid. That's a conversation I have often with the state government. But also that fusion at a council level around how we support arts, culture and community. You cannot create community, you cannot support densification, you cannot support urban renewal without arts and culture as an underpinning. City of Port Phillip is about to embark on the revising of its creative strategy. And across the councillors, and I'm one of 9 councillors, we all have the goal of the strategy being, or the majority of us have the goal of that strategy being more ambitious. The challenge is, what does that ambition mean? For me, that ambition means, how do we support cultural creativity in our new communities? The City of Port Phillip today has about 110,000 people. We're going to be adding, over 25 years, another 60,000 people. We're actually one of the fastest growing regions in metropolitan Melbourne. You often hear of the areas like Wyndham, Werribee, Pakenham, Whittlesea, areas that are fast growing. And they are. But so are we. The growth rates in the City of Port Phillip, we're talking in excess of 25% growth is actually quite substantive. How do we ensure that there's connectivity and connection between communities? That's the work that we need to embark on and the work that we're starting to do through the creative strategy. I know many of you here have an interest in arts and culture. This is the strategy that you need to get involved in, because we need to make sure that strategy doesn't just look at who we've served in terms of arts and culture. And to be fair to the City of Port Phillip, it has had a history of supporting arts culture through areas like St Kilda. Last month when I spoke, it was just on the eve of the St Kilda Festival and a whole range of festivals throughout the month of February. We now need to look and cast our eyes around what is tomorrow. How do we build the future arts, culture communities of tomorrow? That's a journey you need to be part of. Because while we have the vision of being more ambitious or more bold around our creative strategy, how we do that is a piece where we need the expertise. We need the expertise from community to tell us what that boldness, what that ambition looks like. We need that conversation from our arts community, from our creative community, to tell us what that needs to look like. Particularly in areas like here in Fisherman's Bend, where unless we do it, the opportunity will be missed. How do we make sure that in the future we don't end up, and there's plenty of examples across Melbourne, I'm not going to name the suburbs, I often do, but plenty of examples across Melbourne where you have high density developments where arts, culture and community becomes the afterthought and it's too late to fit it in. We need to make sure we do it right now. The creative strategy is the way to do that. So please get involved in that strategy. That is how we can shape the vision of Fisherman's Bend. This is how we can shape the vision of what the future of Port Phillip is going to look like. I'm always happy to take questions. I always circulate after here, but now is the time to get involved in how we shape the future of Port Phillip. It's always magnificent to be here in seeing the arts in action. Tonight's exhibition of fusion, bringing together a number of artists, a number of art forms, and reinforcing how we create community through the arts, and the fact that all of you are here tonight, and many of you come back, even to hear me every couple of months, come back time and time again to celebrate the arts. That is fusion. That is bringing communities together. We need more of this, and we need to keep it going, and we need to support our arts, our artists, and our creatives that are out there in the community. Our exhibition tonight is open, and I'll be handing back to our artists. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. And just on that, with that concept of fusion, fusing arts, culture, community together, I'm so honoured that we've got Mark and Mark's work here tonight, because I think he embodies the fusion of art and design in a way that I don't really see anywhere else, in how both can work together and how, in a sense, design and art are interdependent, like a yin and a yang. They belong together, and when they both come together, what space and place can become, and in that way that we experience it and connect within it, is very kind of magical. And so with Mark here tonight, if he's happy to say a few words, that would be lovely.
I know what I'm going to say.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much. Look, pretty hard to beat the mayor here, Alex, and what have you. Look, I just want to thank you for coming along and supporting art. I discovered Angelina and Scott recently. I do a lot of major fit outs, clients like Cartier and high-level clients around Australia. I was very fortunate enough to come across Angelina and her work, because there's a big hole in the top-end area where you're trying to get the architecture matching the furniture and getting the rugs and everything to blend back in. So I'll be using Angelina in regard to a lot of my bespoke work, and I think there's a big market there to try and link, as the mayor said, neighbourhoods, people, art, culture together, so we can come together as one. I certainly, as an artist, I think there's a big scope going forward of collaborating more people, the arts together with. There's more divisions and different things, whether it's a rug maker or a lounge suite or a couch or whatever else, the fusion of everything going in the interior. And I think arts are very much a reflection on fashion, what we wear, what colours we want to have in our home, and how we feel. So I think going forward, I think you're very lucky here in Port Melbourne to have somebody like Alex with a vision of bringing this to our doorstep. It's also very good that we've got a situation where you've got a developing suburb here with a direction of arts to, becoming now rather than later. And I think it's a credit to you to come and, spend on a Friday evening and join these people going forward. Certainly support Angelina, Alex, and all the best going forward. And thank you very much. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mark. And before we just conclude the speeches for this evening, I do want to just extend a few thank yous. So to Gladstone for providing the beverages for this evening, to our new intern, Louisa, where are you? Here, come up. We are very fortunate to have an intern with us from the University of Melbourne. She's doing her Masters in Arts and Cultural Management. So thank you for being with us here tonight. And yes. And for the Gladstone residents, thank you so much for coming to our opening tonight. We really appreciate it, as well as everyone else from wherever you heard about us and coming to the exhibition. Please take the opportunity to say hello to Mark and speak to him about his amazing work, because it's so amazing to have him with us. Speak to Louisa and say hi and how she's going with her intern and with Mark, and I'll stop. Oh, Mum and Dad, thank you so much for doing the food art for us tonight. It's amazing as always. And Cousin Joey, thank you so much. And I'll stop now, but thank you all. Bye.
Thank you.